Well, we've got the great privilege joined by one of our key sponsors for the 2026 season of Call It a Wild, dealer principal of Explorer Caravan Sales Adelaide, Dave Benson. No introduction needed, but Dave, thanks again for getting involved as a sponsor of Call It a Wild.
Pleasure.
Yeah. In terms of Explorer Caravans, the journey hasn't just started here, but how's it going? And just for our viewers out there, just tell us about Explorer Caravans.
Yeah, well, we started in, I think, August 2020, right in the middle of COVID, and turned out to be a very good thing. COVID was very scary, but then, of course, people wanted to stay at home and explore Australia and not go overseas and not go on cruises and that sort of thing. So it was a great time to get back into the industry. Obviously, history before that goes back to 1983 in the industry, but this particular company with my family, Daniel, Josh and Tom, and of course my wife Tania, true family business.
I was reading the other day, they were saying rags to riches for yourself. How did you start out in the industry?
A family friend came to me and said, look, why don't you get out of Dad's hair and just come to my caravan yard and wash some caravans. So that's how I started, washing caravans, detailing caravans, painting the A-frames by hand and sweeping the yard, all the basic sort of things, and then worked through the workshop and then into sales, and ended up running a yard very young, and started Dave Benson Caravans, of course, back in 1994.
What did those early days teach you about the industry and how to succeed?
Well, at the end of the day, it just comes down to hard work. If you want the success, I think the first 20 years of my business life, I worked 6 days a week, and that's something that you can't replace, I don't think. You've got to work hard, you've got to represent your product well, you've got to look after your customers. They're just basics. If you look after your customers, even you've got a problem, it's not the problem, it's how you fix the problem. If you can get that problem fixed and you get the customer on the road quickly and efficiently, then obviously that becomes a basis for your referral.
And you talked about your family involvement here at Explorer. How important is that for you?
Well, it's the only reason we started back up again. Daniel had just finished his carpentry trade. He said, look, I didn't enjoy that, what about caravans? And we thought, okay, well, it wasn't on my radar, to be honest, but it's turned out to be the best thing that we've done because, I get to see my boys every day, at work. And my wife gets to see them well. Tania comes in 2 days a week. And we've just started the whole empire sort of thing again. And we are where we are, the #1 dealer in Australia for Viscount Franklin and titanium. It's sort of a bit of a repeat from the 2000s, the 90s and 2000s for me, but I guess the second time you get to do it better.
Where does that passion come from you personally in terms of, the outdoors and that sort of relationship?
I've always been outdoors. Yep. Either on the footy field, the cricket field, or the golf course, and of course camping. So love nature, love getting out there. I'm a caravanner myself.
Yep.
I've been around Australia a couple of times with the kids when they were younger, and then later on. So it's just that sense of adventure. It's just so much fun when you're hooking on and you're going to that next destination. You're not sure what it's going to bring, but it's going to be exciting. That's the great thing about caravanning. Yeah.
Have you noticed there's different age groups in terms of people coming to you?
Traditionally, people think it's the grey nomads, but it's actually, I think the average age of a purchaser of a new RV is around 40.
Yep.
So it's a lot younger than what you think. You get a lot of tradesmen, tradies and young families that want to explore their own backyard, and so it's actually a lot younger than you think. I mean, you're still selling to 50, 60-year-olds, but it's the industry on a whole is a lot younger audience than what a lot of people think.
Obviously, this is a key part of your life as well, but also sport. Can you just tell us whether on boards or playing cricket, footy? Your passion for sport and that community aspect.
Dad was a cricketer and a footballer, and that was the way we were brought up in the 70s to play cricket and footy from school. And we'd go and watch, play cricket, footy in the morning, then we'd go and watch Sturt in the afternoon. That's just the way we were raised. And then cricket as well. So I played cricket, still playing cricket.
Yep.
And veterans cricket. Managed to play a bit of state veterans cricket, which is great along the way. And of course, footy, I played probably 300 games for Blackwood and the Unley Jets, and managed to snare a couple of 3 A-grade premierships between the two clubs and multiple other lower grade premierships, which were just as much fun, to be honest.
And you're also connected with the SA community, the country championships, is that?
I was at one point, I was on the SNFL board there. I was on the Hills Football League board, and then they straight away sort of promoted me straight to the SNFL board, the Community Football League board, for a few years. I think it was about 3 years, and that was good to get a real good overall perspective of, outside of the Hills.
In terms of the Hills Football League, your connection obviously with the Blackwood Football Club, what does the Woods mean to you and I guess your family as well? You're a premiership player, 1991 in the A grade, and a few other flags along the way.
Yeah. Well, Blackwood's, that's where I met my wife. That's where a lot of our guys in those days met their wives, and obviously very passionate. Been a present there, life member, all that sort of stuff. But still, even though Daniel's not playing at the moment, still get there to every game. Still have an involvement. Was lucky enough to sit on the subcommittee to pick the current coach, Michael Hamby, and obviously very, you bleed, red and green, and it's exciting to see a bunch of kids this year doing well. Like to see the Woods doing well with our own juniors and not imports. And
you also dabbled with some umpiring?
Yeah, still umpiring. Just doing the B grade and the home games.
Yeah.
Share it with Dave Richardson. Just keeps me interested. I enjoy it. I've umpired for probably 10 years, it's been. I enjoy it. I enjoy getting out there and umpiring. I find it very easy. Look, protect the head, pay the obvious free kicks, and don't over umpire, and the players respect you for that. So I find it's very enjoyable actually.
Just on Explorer Caravan Sales, again, in terms of where people can find you and those sorts of outlets.
Yeah, we're on the corner of Prospect and Grand Junctions roads. Big undercover showroom. We'll probably
have a look around.
We'll have a walk around in a minute. Viscount Franklin just won the last week won the Caravan Manufacturers of the Year. It was exciting. So Viscount Franklin been around for 70 years. Those names, very trusted names, and great, beautiful build quality. And then we've got the Titanium, which is the top of the range sort of off-road van in the market at the moment, and in high demand. And they're next level. They're unbelievable. So.
And recently, few awards, Trailblazer Award, is that correct?
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Just tell us about that.
I was at the National Conference last week, and I'm looking at the screen at the opening of the conference, and they had this new thing called Heroes of the Industry. There was family dynasties, there was Trailblazers, as it turns out. And I was honoured as an inaugural Trailblazer Hero of the Industry, which it was, I must admit, it was quite a surprise and an honour. Yeah, it was good.
Fantastic. And we've got the banner behind here. So is this the sort of the catchphrases?
Yeah, well, there's a few things there. Connecting people to Australia and each other is what we're about, as I mentioned earlier. And we also, there's a lot of Chinese product out at the moment. We only stock and sell Australian-made products, which, it means that the products we sell, they're made from the ground up.
Yep.
So we can get the support for people. We can get parts and things like that quickly. I guess being in the industry for so long, we get to choose the best products as well. So what we're really about is connecting people to Australia and in themselves. That's what it's about, like getting people that have got dreams, that want to travel, and putting the right product and matching it up so that they can go and reach and fulfil their dreams.
How big's your team here?
Well, there's about 10 floating around. I didn't want to get too big again, but somehow we've got up to about 10 families that we're looking after, and they're all leaders in our business. We don't have anyone that's any bosses, so to speak. So everyone's a leader here. We all try to bring the best out of each other. We've got a full-time auto electrician now, so we can do a lot of stuff in that environment in terms of setting the cars up with the brake controllers and things like that. We're also getting into battery management systems in cars. We can do that sort of stuff if you want. And we're going to get into UHF radios, and we're really diversifying. And then of course we do our own servicing and repairs for our own customers. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, thanks again, Dave, for the chat, and we'll have a little look around.
Pleasure.
Thanks again.
Good on you. Cheers.
Explorer Caravans, get involved.
So this is the area where we do our colours. appointments. So after you've purchased the van, if it's on order, then we have a separate day, a separate time where we'll do a colours appointment. So I've got all the colours of the different brands, they're laid out, and we match, like building a home. Yep. And then we match them and build it all that. Over here is an area where we might just sit down and talk about where we're going and quoting up vans for people. So you've got your Viscounts. Viscounts do a semi-off-road and off-road. Franklin's very similar, semi-off-road and off-road. And then over here we got the Titanium. These are the top of the Wazza. I was always a Franklin man, but I've ended up buying a Titanium because they offer this. Now, if you have a look around here, mate, have a look at this. That's a 55-inch TV that you can sit there and watch your favourite footy. This is a hybrid van, so the hybrids are a bit narrower. So the tracking is the same as on your motor vehicle. So you can get them into tighter places, get them in and out of the bush. And the hybrids also, a lot of people like cooking outside, so they have outside kitchens and barbecues and whatnot setups. This is something we just developed the other week. We've got a slide barbecue sort of arrangement that we're setting up that we're going to offer as an add-on for people. So we sort of designed it and put it all together ourselves. People like that outside cooking, like I said. So while the vans inside have their ovens and flat screen TVs and air conditioning and everything like a modern house does, he's the customer relationship manager. And this is Daniel's dog Leo. You might see him in all the TV ads and the Facebook posts and that. He's normally not this shy, but you know, mate. He's a big part of the business, believe it or not. You see him pop up everywhere. So this is our auto electric bay. So as mentioned previously, we can do pretty much any 12 volt. We can put battery packs in the cars. We can set up fridges in the back of cars for people, but primarily he'd be wiring up a car for an Anderson plug and 12-pin plugs and monitors. So the vans have a camera on the back of the van. So that's it. Come on down, Explorer Caravans. Hell, we've got a sale on at the moment. We were always on sale. Come and see us, Cotter Prospect and Grand Junction Roads. Good quality service, great vans, and we're all about connecting you to the country and to each other. That's what caravanning does, brings families together. Cheers.